about supporting Toronto FC is the fact that the team is so relatively young. I get to see a lot of history, and tonight I get to see some history. This is the first time in the history of the club that they've won a game in the Champions League. They, of course, beat CD Motagua from Honduras 1-0 in the Champions League. I thought TFC needed 2 goals coming into this game. On the blog today, I wrote that I thought the 2 goals would have been really what TFC would have been shooting for. Keep a clean sheet, which they did, but score 2 and really make Honduras chase the game next week. 1-0 gives Honduras a little bit more leg room to actually get back into the tie, but hey, it could have been worse, and I'll get to why it could have been worse in a moment. Some surprising starters. A friend of mine pulled out his iPod on the way to the game and said, "Tim, you're not going to believe this. There's no Maicon, there's no Gargan, there's no Mista. We had Peterson, we had Nani Joseph, and we had O'Brien White play." Nani Joseph was the big surprise of those people. It was also a big surprise to see that he actually nutmegged a couple of Hondurans in the second half, which is pretty impressive. O'Brien White, again, hasn't really done much to, I think, endear himself to Preki and the coaching staff when he missed a great chance in the first half, shooting wide. Chad Barrett, however, didn't miss in the first half. He scored a nice goal with a beautiful through ball from Dero in the first half. Fantastic setup play by Dwayne Di Rosario, and Barrett did what he needed to do, went hard, went strong, and scored a nice goal. It was great to see Amado Guevara as well. It was also pretty great to see that he got some applause, some very polite applause early on. It was also pretty good as a TFC fan, of course, to see that he was pretty ineffective. I think the Hondurans were generally pretty ineffective as a team this evening. They really had only one clear chance on goal late in the second half when Honduran national team and World Cup player George Welcome missed finishing across into a pretty well almost open net late in the second half. Speaking of the second half, Dan Gargan, Mista, and Maicon Santos were all brought in. Gargan and Maicon pretty well at the half, and Mista came on late in the second. It was pretty exciting, especially to see the last 2 players come on. It was the first time really in about 70-odd games that I've seen at BMO Field where TFC actually did some one-touch passing. Never thought I'd actually see it. I thought we'd just be a bunch of plumbers forever, but lo and behold, Mista and Maicon did some really beautiful tic-tac-toe stuff late in the second half. It didn't come to a satisfying conclusion with a goal, but yet it was really encouraging to see that level of quality. As I mentioned off the top, I thought TFC really needed 2 goals tonight to really make the trip to Honduras a little easier next week. But hey, it is what it is, and as I said off the top, it could have been much worse. As I was just finishing up this blog, lo and behold, I took a look online, and what did I see? I see that the Los Angeles Galaxy, that were also playing a Champions League game this evening at home against the Puerto Rico Islanders, the team that put TFC out of the tournament last year. Could you believe it? Lost to the Puerto Rico Islanders tonight 4-1. And the Islanders scored all the goals, 4 on LA and 1 own goal late in the second half. So it looks like the Galaxy have a pretty significant mountain to climb down in San Juan last week. So yes, TFC could have scored 1 more, but it could have been much worse. Hey, we could have lost to Puerto Rico 4-1, but we didn't. We still have a chance to win, and for the first time, as I mentioned off the top in club history, Toronto FC has won a Champions League game. And I hope that it's the first of many, many, many Champions League games that we win over the years. So they're on the road, of course, Toronto FC this weekend in Kansas City, playing in that little baseball park against the Wizards. And then Tuesday of next week, they're in Tegucigalpa, Honduras, playing, of course, against CD Motagua again with the hammer, hopefully going to be securing a chance to play in the group stages of the Champions League. Video blogs after both games, and I'll have a few more odds and ends, especially my pregame on Friday for the Kansas City game coming up on the weekend. So cheers for watching, and congrats again to TFC winning their first Champions League game in club history. Cheers for watching.